Hey guys, welcome to Bloodlines. I'm Olvaar, and in this video I'm going to explain how to unlock the Ice Skill path, and how to progress the Yuki Bloodline, which specializes in using this elemental KK Genkai. I want to start by pointing out that the Ice Skill path is not locked to the Yuki clan. Anyone can get this element regardless of their bloodline. Yuki just has access to extra skills if they decide to get Ice, which they definitely should because their clan revolves around this element. Ice is an elemental KK Genkai. It's a combination of two basic chakra natures, water and wind. So you're going to need to unlock both of these skill paths if you want to get it. To progress through the water and wind skill paths, you're going to need chakra fragments, which you can get by completing different missions and quests. You're also going to need water and wind gems. You can easily get these by destroying corrupted points. You will also need chakra shards, which you get by destroying chakra points. This guide is really covering mid to end game content, so I don't want to spend too much time explaining basic stuff. If you're new to the game, I suggest you check out my beginner's guide. Progressing through the water and wind skill paths is pretty simple. The only thing that might give you some trouble is unlocking the last wind skill. I already made a dedicated guide on how to get Rasen Shuriken, so I'll give you the quick version here. You will need to talk to the Tempest Tutor NPC, which you can find by following this path starting from the Expanse. He will give you a quest, and you'll need to complete 3 different challenges, which you can do in any order you like. You can complete the first challenge by standing in a snowstorm or a sandstorm and taking enough damage. The second challenge consists of getting enough wind XP. All you have to do is spam wind moves on NPCs or other players. The third challenge is simply to use Rasengan moves on other players. Once you've completed all 3 challenges, you can head back to the Tempest Tutor to get your wind scroll. I'll leave links in the pinned comment to other guides you should watch if you somehow stumble upon this video and you're feeling lost. Anyway, once you've completed the water and wind skill paths, you want to head to the Permafrost Plain chakra points and follow this path. You're going to want to go inside this place. Make sure you remember how to get back here because you'll be making this trip a few times. Talk to the Frozen Specialist NPC and choose the first dialogue option. You'll need to talk to him to start a quest, but before you do that, you need to meet the requirements. If he tells you that you need to master both water and wind, that means you're missing water and wind XP. All you have to do to get this XP is use water and wind moves on NPCs or other players. Of course, it's a lot faster if you spam moves on NPCs. I think you might be able to get the necessary XP for this by spamming moves without hitting anything. I haven't tried it personally, so just to be safe, make sure you're hitting NPCs or players too. I recommend you forget that you need to do this quest, play normally, and just come back here to check every once in a while. It took me around 2 or 3 age ups of constantly grinding NPCs to get the XP I needed. If you talk to him again, he might say that your heart is not cold enough. This means you're missing grips. You can get these by pressing B on a player while they're knocked. Keep in mind that you do not get grips for killing players with Archromo's blessing, so don't waste your time with them. The grip requirement is probably the biggest roadblock to unlocking this KK Genkai for most people. You're going to need at least 20 grips to be able to start the quest. The quest itself though is pretty simple. You'll just have to complete 4 different trials. You just have to jump inside of each mirror and you'll be automatically teleported to the challenge area. Starting from left to right, the first trial will have you fighting an oversized ice beast. If you got 20 grips, I think you can manage this fight just fine, but basically all you have to do is not stay too close to him. He has a bigger M1 hitbox than you, so if you try to trade M1s, you're going to get hurt. Other than that, it's not really a difficult fight. When you've killed them, just make your way back to start the second trial. For the second trial, you just need to stay in a snowstorm for a while. If you're from the Yuki clan, you don't take damage inside snowstorms, so it's a lot easier than if you try doing this challenge as a player from a different bloodline. The third challenge is also pretty simple. All you have to do is defeat 3 basic NPCs. All you really have to do is make sure they don't attack you while your substitution skill is on cooldown. If you're not prepared for the final trial, you might actually get killed. You'll be teleported right over a void and you'll have to wall jump and dash mid-air to stay alive. So make sure you don't start this trial if you're low on life force. Once you've completed all 4 trials, all you have to do is talk to the Frozen Specialist to get your Ice Scroll. Again, you don't have to be part of the Yuki clan to get this item. Once you have the Ice Scroll, you can unlock Ice Spikes, which is the first skill in this KK Genkai. It's a long-range AoE attack that sends the players it hits flying, which works well if you need to set up a combo. The next move you can unlock is Ice Dragon. It's somewhat similar to Woodspire and it has a surprising range. Ice Skate is an insane mobility move. I didn't speed this up by the way. Ice Floor is the last of the basic ice skills. He will spawn a snowflake that will stun anyone who gets close to it for a small amount of time. It's good for sub bait. Yuki is an event bloodline much like Kaguya was during the Halloween event that is only available for a limited time. It gets access to several other ice skills. There's currently 2 ways of getting it. You can get it with Robux, but there's also a free option. You'll need to grind candy canes during the winter update by fighting bosses, destroying crescent points, completing ice rifts, and more. With those candy canes, you can purchase an item called the Snow Globe by talking to an NPC near the Celestial Gate. To get there, just follow this path starting from Fort Mellow. Using a Snow Globe will wipe your current build and make you lose your previous bloodline, so make sure you don't use it on an account you want to keep. The Snow Globe carries over wipes, so you can get it now and hold on to it if you want. And yeah, you need to talk to the Overseer NPC to get this item. They did increase the cost compared to the Curious Bone, but they really buffed the candy cane rates, so it's actually a lot easier to get this bloodline than getting Kaguya ever was. I expect Yuki is going to be a lot more common. Anyway, if you're from the Yuki clan, once you've gotten the basic ice skills, talk to this NPC behind the Frozen Specialist. If you choose the third dialogue option, it will probably tell you that your control over ice release is still fragile. This just means you need ice XP, just spam ice moves as much as you can. Just like you did when you were getting water and wind XP. Once you have enough ice XP, you will have to talk to it again to start a quest and your final trial. You'll have to fight a boss, so make sure you're ready and you're not low on life force if this is your first attempt. Once you're teleported to this room, just hit the boss a few times to start the fight. For the most part, he uses the same basic ice skills you have access to. The only move you might not be used to is Ice Flicker. This boss will teleport to one of the mirrors and then he'll attack you. It's very easy to perfect block once you understand the pattern. I'm using Stage 3 Byakugan as my awakening. Honestly, I only had it because I'm working on the Hyuga guide, but it's actually really good for this fight. Both awakening skills are great 360-degree defensive tools, and they're extremely easy to land on this boss, because he walks right into your attacks. The Ice Flicker pattern is pretty simple, you just have to perfect block him when he comes out of the mirror. The first time he'll go to a mirror once before he attacks you. Then he'll move between 2 mirrors before attacking. And for his final attack, he'll move between 3 of them before attacking. When you perfect block him 3 times in a row, you'll stun him for a bit. And yeah, you want to slowly wear him down by doing this. If you can perfect block Ice Flicker, you probably won't have much trouble with this fight because it gives you plenty of time to regain your HP if you're low. Also, the arena is surrounded by void, so try not to fall into it. Once you break his armor, he'll enter his second phase. The main difference is he'll use Ice Flicker much more quickly, so you have to adjust your timings. And yeah, once you defeat the boss, you will complete the quest and you'll automatically get Yuki Affinity in your inventory. You can use this item to unlock Ice Rain, which is the first of the exclusive Yuki skills. It's a long range and instant cast AoE attack, somewhat similar to Kirin. Ice Mirror and Ice Flicker work in tandem. You use the first skill to create a mirror, and then Flicker allows you to teleport to them and attack players. If you master Ice Mirror, you can use the bootleg version of the Ice Ultimate skill. It's called Demonic Ice Mirrors, and you'll need an Ice Heart to unlock it, which you can get as a rare drop after defeating the Haku boss. I'm not exactly sure how rare this is, but it's possible I got lucky because I only fought this boss like 6 times. If you use this skill, you will summon a huge snowstorm alongside a ton of mirrors you can use Ice Flicker on. Like Senju's Deep Forest Emergence, it's on a long cooldown, so you want to use it sparingly, but if you're in a small area that's hard to get out of, you can really do a ton of damage. By the way, if you're wondering how to get the armor I have on right now, you'll need Ice Wraps, which you can also get from the Haku boss. It buffs a lot of stuff, mainly speed and chakra regen. You'll get a buff to ice damage as well as extra HP and HP regen. Anyone can fight the Haku boss to get this armor if they want, by the way, it's not exclusive to this bloodline. Anyway, that's all for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.